What's up, you beautiful collectors? This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to the support of my patrons, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Robots in Disguise Deluxe or Warrior Class Blurr. For the package, you got a really cool image of Blurr running around there in the back. You got this open clamshell with some really cool molded in detail right here where you can kind of see like the hexagonal patterns right there. You can see that it's part of the combiner force. Of course, you got the Transformers logo, as well as Robots in Disguise up there. On the back of the package, you got the instructions for adding this to the Transformers Robots in Disguise game. Of course, you got images of Blurr in his robot as well as his vehicle mode. It says that he transforms in 11 steps, and the instructions are printed right here on the back of the card. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Transformers Robots in Disguise Warrior Class Blurr opened up and out of its packaging. And I actually really do like the way that this guy looks. Now, Blurr apparently is actually carried over from the more kid-oriented Transformers Rescue Bot series. So it's interesting that they're kind of doing some like cross-promotion, I guess. I don't know if this character is actually in the film. I haven't watched all of it. But toy-wise, I really dig the way that it looks. You got a lot of nice blue and white, very much like what Blurr would have. I do kind of wish that the middle section here had a little bit of blue paint on the inside there. But I love the fact that they have that very classic looking kind of ornament sort of section here on the top for him. As you can see, he kind of looks like a Formula One race car, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a very big race car person, but it definitely has a race car look. As you can see, the weapon can peg on the side here. You got a little hole here, and then the gun itself has a little peg. You got that on the other side as well. You also have a peg hole here where you can just put the regular handle, and you can do that. Really cool gun, though, that you're going to have a hard time seeing because, white background and semi-clear sort of gun, but overall, real nice detail on there. You can see that it's in this bluish sort of color, so I do dig that. Nice molded detail in there as well. I'm going to set that off to the side, but really cool. I really do dig the way this guy actually looks. You got some nice rolling wheels, very low profile. Like I said, very much like a race car. You got that kind of bluish clear windshield, much like the actual gun is, but it kind of wraps around. But as cool as that is, it kind of makes him look gappy down there. So I almost wish that that was a little bit darker so that you couldn't see through it nearly as much. Now, and all you really see in there are his legs anyhow. I mean, it's cool looking, don't get me wrong, but like I said, that's one of the downsides. Because of how clear it is, you can definitely see through, and you got the gaps right down there and everything. But fun. I do really actually like this guy. Now, the transformation is really very simple. First, you come around here to the side, you take these bits, kind of tuck them down just like so. You can then take this, separate this, and kind of angle that out. These back sections here rotate up just like that. Then you take the windshield section, rotate this back and around, folding that down. You can get that out of the way. This collapses down, and then this rotates down here. It's very stiff, and then you can see that the little spoiler section kind of fits right along there. It just kind of sits there, and then you collapse this piece up. You got a little tab section right there that slots into the back there, so you bring that up, give that a nice little push, and then also you got little notches that slot in here that are located right there. So you just bring that up, and it really nicely, securely fits on his back. Rotate the hands, or the lower part of the arms around, I should say. Now, you could pull these apart, but it's actually like a mushroom sort of peg, so you want to slide it forward and then pull it apart. You can see, well, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but coming in here, maybe you can't. You can see that it's a little bit of a groove, so when you do it, you just put it like so and then slide it down. Pulling it apart is gonna more than likely damage that sort of locking tab, so just slide it forward and then it comes out very easily. Come around here to the back, take these. These are really stiff as well. Fold these out just like so. Do that on this side. This is the really stiff one. Fold this all the way out like so. Rotate that all around. There you have his head, and there you have him in his actual robot mode. And I really, like I said, dig the way that this figure has turned out. And again, I really do like the way that this guy turned out. I mean, he's a little bit different than what I guess I'm used to Blurr looking like, but I really think that they did a real nice job of kind of updating the character. And the toy itself is really very fun as well. Obviously, those same colors kind of carry over. You got the darker blue, you got the lighter blue, you got the white, you have the little sticker right here. That's the thing that you scan for the game. And then you can see that he's got some monstrous light piping going on there. That's basically shown as being like a pair of goggles. Yeah, it doesn't really look like that here, but it's still really very nice looking. One thing that I'll say though is that his legs absolutely remind me of the Transformers Prime Wheeljack. Now, I don't believe they're the same, but they are very similar in terms of their look. When I got this out of the package and I started looking at it, that's instantly what I was trying to think of, and I couldn't remember. And luckily, one of the followers on my Twitter pointed that out, and it really does kind of look like Wheeljack's legs. But, I mean, really, I do like it. One thing that I also really dig, and it's a subtle piece right here, but, like, the color here, you can see that it's this kind of lighter blue, and then you got this white bit on the outside, and it carries over. I love the fact, and I don't think it's a separate piece. And I'm trying to think, and actually it might be a separate piece, but the fact that the color breaks up there looks really very good. I'm very happy with that. And how, obviously, you know, when you have it around like that, and then you rotate it like that, that section coming out just adds a level of separation to the actual arm. Obviously, you can see that he holds the gun very well. For his articulation, the head is on a ball joint. It's a little bit loose. I might actually have to tighten that. But you can see, like, the back of his head is just all light piping. That's massive. I do kind of wish that there was a little bit more paint maybe put on his little crest here, but I love these little bits right up here. Have the little wing thing kind of going on. He has a very awesome ball joint here, which allows you to kind of even flex it in and out, and then forward and back, rotate, obviously. But that kind of like inward motion is really cool. He can rotate at the upper part of the bicep, bends here on a hinge for the elbow. Nothing at the wrist, unfortunately. Waist, does he have anything? No, nothing at the waist. But then the hips are on ball joints, so you get a nice range of motion there. They also pop off. I'm trying to see. Oh, yeah, he does rotate at the thigh, but the problem is this is really stiff on mine. So you can see that you got the little rotation right there, but it doesn't really do anything. I mean, as you can see, rotating it around, it just pulls that off. But because of the very open nature of the ball socket right there, you get a nice rotation without actually utilizing that joint. So it's there, but you, at least on mine, I can't really even access it. And then you got the ankle here, which is on a actual hinge, but then you got another hinge right up here. So you can bring it all the way down. You don't have to bring it all the way down like that. You can kind of leave it angled back if you don't want to have as much of his foot showing, but I think it actually looks a little bit better to have that all the way forward like so. But really happy. Really very happy with how this guy turned out. Very cool looking, good colors, very simple transformation, but it's satisfying to do. I mean, I've talked about this before, that you can have a simple transformation and have it still actually work. I know a lot of people complained, especially with the Combined War stuff, that they felt like it was getting too simple. But then, as the Titans Return line started, more figures from the Robots in Disguise line started coming out. They started seemingly to hit their stride with these simplified Transformers. And I think they're doing some really great things now. Yeah, you do have some kind of hollowness back here. That's a little bit ugly. It kind of will look cool if you could rotate this back around. I think that's very much like if this part here detached and then rotated around, I think that's pretty much like Wheeljack's legs, but whatever. Overall, really fun figure. Now, to transform it back, you just rotate these up and in, just like so. Tab that down, and then you, like I was saying, you got the little mushroom cap here, so you just want to kind of bring this in and hook that in, sliding that forward, bringing it up just like so. You can then rotate these arms, but keep the elbows bent. Do that on both sides as well. Kind of bring these out, straighten out his head, lift this up, and then fold this around. This section here will kind of sit right there. This comes up. You know, the head usually gets in the way, so make sure you straighten that and then fold this around just like so. You got two little nubs right here that lock in just below his knee, so you bring that in just like so. Take these, fold these forward just like that, and then you hinge these pieces down and it locks into place in the back. Do that on this side as well. Give that a nice little squeeze, and then you bring these forearms up, kind of shift them underneath that front fender section, kind of fiddling with that. Do that on that side just like that. Bring that in, and there you have Blurr back in his vehicle mode. Overall though, really fun toy. Even though I don't get into the Robots in Disguise cartoon very much, I still have an appreciation for the toys. And this is definitely one of the best. I love the way that the vehicle mode looks. The transformation, while very simple, does a really nice job of converting from car to a very solid looking robot. Which, even though he doesn't necessarily have that Blurr look that I really enjoy, I totally get the feel for Blurr. I really do dig this guy, and without question would recommend him to you. So if this is a figure that you'd like to add to your collection, he is slowly hitting various retail locations right now. Or as always, there's Big Bad Toy Store. So all you have to do for that is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to BBTS where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of their wide range of Transformers Robots in Disguise figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in, and this has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, to please hit that thumbs up button. It goes a long way towards helping me out, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you never miss out on a future review of mine. Do me a real quick favor and click on that bell right below this video, and double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And as always, until next time, be excellent to each other.